Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anime Alternates here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And, my school's actually about to start back up, so I wanted to get another video before I, probably didn't post again for a while, so this is what it is. It's, a lot shorter than the last video I posted, about, like, the normal length of videos I used to post, but maybe on the shorter side, but, yeah, I just want to get, just one more video before I didn't post again for a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and, without further ado, roll the intro. Nukonaha was barely recognizable after 9 months. Almost every building was being remodeled, and an artificial lake 200 meters in depth and 2 miles in radius surrounded Nukonaha, or rather, as Naruto's puppet Danzo had renamed it, the city of Nukonaha. The city itself sat on a massive island at the center of the even more gargantuan lake. This was rather convenient, as the island could just be enlarged if more space was needed for the city to expand. Though, this was likely to happen for a little while. Not to mention, there were also buildings underwater that blanketed the floor of the lake closer to the base of the island, that the visible part of Nukonaha sat on top of. Oh, how Naruto loves seals. Only they were able to make that possible. Only Ninjutsu was able to make that possible. But the reason Naruto had the lake be made to such a colossal size was first off, to create a natural barrier to protect Konoha. So such isolation seemed like it could be turned against Konoha very easily by an enemy setting up a supply blockade on the edge of the lake. Naruto actually thought of this. Most of Konoha's supplies came through the Land of Waves, which was located on a couple miles south-southeast off the coast of Konoha, or at least most of the supplies were routed through there anyways. Again, the point of safety could be brought up in the form of an attack from the hidden mist on the Land of Waves, but Naruto had also in turn planned for this. The hidden mist and the Land of Water as a whole had been fully incorporated into Naruto's empire, the Red Whirlpool Empire. Naruto had questioned Shikamaru if this was too noticeable and could possibly lead back to himself, the name that being something Naruto was not ready for. That being discovered, but Shikamaru had assured Naruto that it would be fine. No one would focus on the name. With Danzo spearheaded the entire effort, everyone would be too busy focused on stopping Danzo, as his reputation for heavily participating in the last war and being the student of Tobirama was too large to ignore. But the second and most important reason for the size of the lake was for the two newest additions to Naruto's Biju collection. The Three Tails and the Six Tails respectively. Both of them were aquatic and could reside in the lake as guardians or protectors. Of course, Naruto still had applied summoning seals to them, so you could throw them to the side at a moment's notice. All the non-aquatic tailed beasts, like the Nine Tails, would still reside underneath the lake and force to sleep until needed. Naruto, your meeting with the delegates from the Hidden Sand is in 20 minutes. Shikamaru sounded tired, to which Naruto would agree that he was as well. Whenever Naruto did the paperwork that accompanied running an empire, Shikamaru always assisted him, just to have a second set of eyes looking over everything. Normally, an emperor would have delegated the paperwork to one of his advisors, or so Naruto liked to believe. There hadn't actually been an emperor since the times of the Sage of Six Paths, over a millennium ago. Thank you, Shikamaru. Naruto and Shikamaru started putting away the stacks of paper they were sorting through. As we walk, please give me an update on how my 10 commanders are doing. The 10 commanders, as Naruto had called them, were the rest of the Konoha 12, besides himself, and Shikamaru. The 10 commanders, as Naruto called them, in the 9 months since the Chunin exams, and the failed invasion by Orochimaru, all of the Konoha 12 had risen to the rank of Jonin. Even Sakura, something that immensely surprised Naruto, but in a good way. Ino and Sakura are still buried in work in a medical research building. Both of them are determined to unravel everything that Orochimaru studied. Naruto nodded at Shikamaru's words. They made sense. Orochimaru, at Naruto's orders, had been held in a max security prison until they were able to find and destroy every other piece of him. Every trace of his work was brought to Konoha. Every one of his experiments was either terminated or also brought to Konoha. Then, Orochimaru was executed, and the scientists of the Leaf pored over his work. Orochimaru's execution was a show of strength to the rest of the world that Konoha was not weak, even after the invasion. Sasuke, Choji, Kiba, and Neji have been deployed to recover the Four Tails. Hinata, Rock Lee, and Tenten are en route in pursuit of the Five Tails. And lastly, Shino is going to go collect the Seven Tails from the Hidden Waterfall. The Hidden Waterfall is an ally of ours, so they put up no resistance when we offered a trade. The Seven Tails for protection provided by your empire. If all goes according to plan, we'll have all the tailed beasts within another year. It's hard to say. The two and 8 tails are going to be especially difficult to capture. Not to mention, the rest of the 10 commanders will need a break after going after the 4 and 5 tails. They're arguably some of the strongest of the Jinchuriki. Naruto nodded. Good. Very good. Oh, and Shikamaru. Naruto paused for a second until Shikamaru looked at him. It's our empire, not just mine, but everyone who wants peace. This empire is for everyone who is sick and tired of war, and strife, and conflict. Shikamaru smiled at his friend, arguably his best friend, and gave a brief nod before both of them schooled their features and strode into the meeting chambers. Naruto's Danzo lookalike was standing behind one of the chairs, which of course confused the Sand delegates sitting across from him. Hello, my friends. Naruto's eyes quickly flitted across the Sand delegates, trying to remember some of their names. He only managed 2 out of the 4, Temari and Baku. He asked. The 2 of them gave short nods, and Naruto's smile widened. He moved around Danzo to sit in the chair, and as soon as he did, Temari spoke up. I knew something wasn't adding up. You're controlling the Leaf, aren't you? Danzo's just your little puppet. Temari, Baki chided. I'm sorry, Baki paused, not knowing Naruto's official title. Naruto waved his hand in a good-natured but dismissive way. Never mind it. You're actually spot on, Temari. And to answer you, Baki, my official title, or as I will be known as soon, is Emperor. But for now, I'm still just Danzo's. Naruto made air quotes with his hands. Protege. You can refer to me as Naruto Dano. Baki nodded. We're here because of our daimyo. He spat the name out with such venom, Naruto, to stop himself from flinching, has decided that he doesn't need us and cut all our funding. Instead, routing it to create a mockery of a hidden village composed of personal mercenaries and samurai. The entire idea is just a little powder keg. Mercenaries hate samurai, samurais hate mercenaries. Never mind. The thing is, we can't do anything about it. The only crop the Hidden Sand managed to grow enough of to sell is coffee beans, and that's it. It's not nearly enough to support us. So, we came here with an offer. We'll provide you with the One Tails on account that you return Jinchuriki to us unharmed, and we will join your empire. In return, we require different supplies and commodities, as well as a healthy stream of missions, if there will still be those after your empire is finished. I think, Naruto began. And you have to make me regional governor, Temari spoke up. Temari, Baki again began, but Naruto cut him off. No, it's fine. His eyes flicked to Shikamaru, who was sitting to his left. Shikamaru shrugged, indicating that this was Naruto's problem. Why not? Naruto said, after a couple seconds of tense silence. Confidence like that is in short supply these days. But hey, it's what got me to be able to lead Konoha from the shadows. You'll never lose that fire, Temari Dano. Naruto stood up and gave a short nod before he and Shikamaru left the council chambers. Well, that went better than expected, Shikamaru said as he and Naruto strolled away from the meeting chambers. You like her, don't you? Naruto's cheeks colored ever so slightly. Shikamaru just smiled. If it wasn't so troublesome, he would have teased Naruto more about it. Someone had to keep Naruto from getting a big head. Well, let's go, Naruto said hurriedly, speeding up. Time skip. 1 year. Naruto was standing upside down, hanging from the ceiling, staring at the creature below him. It was massive, far larger than even the Kyuubi at its height. The Jubi was magnificent. Brown, wood-like skin covered its entire body. It had taken Naruto many months to collect every tailed beast. The ones from Kuma were especially difficult, as they had tried recalling Killer Bee after the two tails had been stolen. But Naruto had intercepted them. It had been a hard battle that took almost a day to conclude between himself and the Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer Bee. Once stunned, Naruto and the rest of the people he'd brought with him limped back to Nukonaha with the Eight Tails. But they'd done it. They'd finally collected all the tailed beasts. A month later, he created a cocoon that would slowly make itself into the 10 tails, from combining all other 9 tailed beasts. Naruto had read many texts concerning the Jubi, but nothing really prepared him for what it looked like. Instead, it took the form of a quadruped, but also sometimes bipedal, vaguely humanoid creature with 10 long, imposing tails and 1 large Rinne Sharingan at the center of its head. Naruto took a couple more seconds to stare at it. While it was ugly, it radiated power. Then, an explosion shook the underground facility. Emperor! And one of the shinobi came running to the cavern. Another update was that Naruto had finally come out of the shadows as the emperor of his empire. Danzo the Danzo lookalike clone had been slowly pushed into the shadows until no one even remembered what had happened to Danzo. The cut's only a couple miles from here. The first wave of shinobi are ready to deploy to slow them from reaching the city. Permission denied, Naruto snapped, dropping down from the ceiling and landing in a crouch. I don't want a single drop of blood spilled from any of the people within my empire. I'll deal with these interlopers myself. Naruto looked back at the Jubi. Well, not completely myself. He snickered as he walked off. Anyway guys, thanks for listening, have a great new year, and I'll see you guys later.